Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, we're jumping right in because we need to completely challenge that old, familiar story of financial security we've all been sold. You know the one. Go to school, get a degree, land a safe job, and you're pretty much set for life. Well, the modern landscape is shifting incredibly fast. By the end of our time together today, we are going to fundamentally reshape how you view your own earning potential in an AI-driven world. We're going to talk about high-income skills. But to kick things off, let's try a little personal thought experiment. Seriously, picture this. If you wake up tomorrow with absolutely zero in your bank account, do you possess a specific skill that can make you money in the next 7 days? I want you to really, truly think about that for a second, because for the vast majority of people, the honest answer is a terrifying no. And if your answer is no, it means you're actually years away from true financial freedom. You see, real wealth isn't just about having a big pile of money saved up. It's about having the innate, undeniable capacity to generate income on demand. If you lack the skills to create value quickly in the marketplace, you are constantly inherently vulnerable. And that brings us right to a pretty bitter truth. You aren't struggling financially because you don't work hard. Millions of people work incredibly hard every single day. You're vulnerable because you rely entirely on a single income source. Imagine a typical worker whose job simply disappears tomorrow. Bam! Their income hits zero instantly. Their entire livelihood vanishes in an afternoon. But then there are other people who, even if they lose a job or lose a major client, just keep generating money. Are they luckier? Nope. Smarter? Not necessarily. They've just built a secure financial insurance policy through skills the market actually values, totally independent of any single employer. To really grasp this vulnerability, we have to look at how the entire economy has shifted. Think of it like a giant puzzle that got completely scrambled. The outdated formula of a piece of paper, a degree, plus a single job used to equal security. That was the old way. But today, AI, automation, shifting tech trends, they're completely dismantling that old system. The modern market genuinely does not care about your degree anymore. What does it pay for? It pays for high-income skills and the ability to solve complex problems. If you can solve a high-value problem, you're going to get paid a high-value income. It's really that simple. To put that into perspective, just think about the number 20,000. Why is it that so many incredibly hardworking people are absolutely trapped, grinding away for a 20,000 rupee a month salary, while someone else out there is making 20,000 a day using the exact same internet? The internet doesn't play favorites. We all have access to the same platforms, the exact same global audience, the exact same tools. So the difference isn't the internet itself. The difference is the specific capability that individual brings to the digital marketplace. And that massive discrepancy leads directly to what I like to call the fatal trap. People realize, okay, I need to upskill, but then 95% of them spend years learning things that have absolutely zero market demand. It's like becoming the world's absolute best expert on a coding language from 1998 or mastering some tedious data entry task that an AI can now literally do in 3 seconds. They pour all this time and money into skills nobody wants to buy. So today, we are completely ignoring those. Instead, we're focusing strictly on skills that have massive demand right now and will remain relevant no matter how much the technology changes. All right, let's jump straight into skill number 1, the multiplier effect. Now, before you tune out or roll your eyes at the word sales, do not picture a pushy, aggressive used car salesman. Okay, let's dive into this. True sales is what we call a multiplier skill. This is a core capability, like communication, that mathematically increases the value of every other talent you possess. Think about it. If you have a world-changing idea, but you can't explain it to anyone, its value is literally zero. If you build the most amazing business in the world but can't convince a single customer to actually buy, you fail. Even the greatest ideas are completely useless if you can't communicate them. There's a famous saying, people don't buy products, they buy emotions. Hit the nail on the head, right? It's a psychological truth that drives literally every major business on Earth. People make decisions based on feelings, not just pure logic. Whether you're pitching a project to your boss, asking for a raise, or selling a physical product online, you are engaging in influence. The person who truly understands this psychological reality suddenly sees their earning potential absolutely skyrocket, because they stop pushing dry, boring logical features and start actually connecting with human emotions. And this skill is insanely profitable for a few very clear reasons. First off, it requires absolutely no formal degree. Anyone, anywhere can learn this. Second, it allows an average person who can communicate effectively to easily out-earn a quiet genius who can't articulate their own value. You literally build it just by writing and speaking a little bit better every single day.
Having valuable knowledge is great, sure, but communication is the bridge that turns valuable knowledge into profitable knowledge. Moving on to our next major area. Skill number 2, the attention gatekeeper.
We're pivoting specifically to the digital economy here. Now, what's really interesting is that so many people dismiss thumbnail design as just basic photo editing. Just a graphic slapped on at the very end of making a video. No way. It is actually the deep psychology of capturing human attention. The world's top creators, guys like Mr. Beast, will literally spend upwards of $10,000 just testing a single image. Why on earth would they do that? Because on the internet, that tiny little image is the ultimate digital asset. It's the gatekeeper to your entire business, your message, and your brand.
Think about your own journey as a viewer. Step 1, you see the thumbnail. Step 2, you click. And only then, in step 3, as the actual video consumed. On platforms like YouTube, the video itself is sold later. What is sold first is the click, and this brilliantly illustrates why the click has to be sold before the content is ever even seen. You could have a cinematic masterpiece, a totally life-changing tutorial, the most insightful commentary on the entire internet. But if that first image doesn't win the click, your content is practically invisible.
The really harsh reality of the internet is that a single image determines the absolute destiny of a video. It's the difference between reaching millions of people or dying completely unseen. In this incredibly noisy ocean we call the internet, attention is never, ever free. It is a highly contested resource that you have to win in milliseconds. A viewer decides whether to click or keep scrolling based almost entirely on that split-second impression. And this is exactly why top creators spend hours and thousands of dollars perfecting them. They know that without capturing attention first, the best content in the world simply doesn't matter. So we've covered a lot in this explainer today, from the terrifying vulnerability of single incomes to the power of multiplier skills and the absolute necessity of capturing digital attention. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to chew on. Knowledge is valuable, but are your skills actually profitable? It's time to seriously ask yourself that. It's time to stop relying on outdated degrees and fragile single-income streams. We need to start aggressively acquiring high-income, AI-immune skills that the market is actually eager to pay for. The world is changing incredibly fast, and your financial independence depends entirely on your ability to adapt, solve real problems, and communicate your value. Thanks so much for joining me today, and hey, start building those profitable skills right now.